Good morning, boys. Today we are focusing our lesson on multiplying fractions. Okay? We've already done finding a fraction of a quantity and we've dealt with multiplication, but now we're not going to deal with a fraction multiplied by a whole number, but a fraction multiplied by a fraction. Okay? Let's evaluate and discuss this situation in example 1. You are throwing a pizza party for your friends. When the pizza comes, your little sister sneaks in and grabs 1/3 of the pizza. Mom tells her she has to share 1/2 of her pizza with her brother. What fraction of her share will they both get to eat? Alright? They get to eat 1/2, alright, of the 1/3. Alright? She took, alright, Mom told her that she has to share 1/2 of her pizza. She took 1/3. Okay, so they will both eat 1/2 of 1/3. Alright? It is like you are splitting the pizza into 6 parts. Alright? And both the brother and the sister are going to eat 1 part out of a total of 6. Okay? When we find 1/2 of 1/3, it's like splitting the pizza into 6 equal parts. And that would be 1 part out of 6. So 1/2 of 1/3 would be 1/6. Now, remember that of means multiply. So remember that of means multiply in mathematics, okay? So 1/2 of 1/3 can be written as 1/2 times 1/3, okay? Now, we've done this example using a diagram of a pizza. Now, how can we work this out mathematically without using a diagram? Okay? So, how to multiply a fraction by another fraction? And this process involves 3 steps. In the first step, we need to multiply our numerator straight across. So we have 1/2 times 1/3. The numerators are 1 and 1. 1 times 1 equals 1, boys. That's step 1. Step 1, multiply numerators. Step 2, multiply denominators. The denominators are 2 and 3. So 2 times 3 equals 6. So step 1, multiply numerators. Step 2, multiply denominators. Okay? And we obtain the fraction of 1/6. Okay? Just like in the diagram. Okay? We said before that it's like splitting the pizza into 6 equal parts, and both the sister and the brother will get 1 part out of 6. Okay? 1/6. Step 3, boys, then will be simplify your answer wherever necessary. But in this case, 1/6, alright? It cannot be simplified further, so 1/6 is the final answer. Okay? Now, boys, I want you to realize, alright, I want you to note that when we multiply 2 fractions, right, that are between 0 and 1, just like 1/2 and 1/3, 1/2 it's between 0 and 1, and 1/3 it's between 0 and 1, alright? So when we multiply 2 such fractions between 0 and 1, the product, the answer of the multiplication, okay, the multiplication answer, would be smaller than each of the fractions. Alright, so 1/6, if you can note, 1/6 is smaller than 1/2, okay, because you had to divide the pizza into further parts. And 1/6 is smaller also than 1/3. So when you multiply two fractions which are between 0 and 1, the answer, the product, the multiplication answer, alright, is always smaller than each of the fractions, okay? In fact, 1/6 is smaller than both 1/2 and 1/3, okay? Let's discuss example 2. Let's say we need to find 1/2 of a 2/5 slice of pizza. When we find 1/2 of 2/5, alright? Look at the diagram, boys. We have, in the first diagram, we have 2/5 of a pizza. And then in the second diagram, in the second pizza, I'm dividing, alright? Each sort of 1/5 into 2, because I want to find 1/2 of 2/5, alright? It's like splitting the pizza instead of in 5 in 10, alright? Because I want to find 1/2 of 2/5. And 1/2 of 2/5 would be 2 pieces out of the 10, alright? 2 out of 10, then 1/2 of 2/5 would be 2 out of 10. Alright, you can see it on the third, right, and the fourth diagram. Okay, it's like splitting the pizza into 10 parts and taking half of the previously cut pizza. You have going to take half of 2/5. So it would be 2 out of 10. So half of 2/5 can be written as half instead of boys. We write times 2/5. Okay, now let's work the sum mathematically. Step 1 is we multiply our numerators straight across. The numerators are 1 and 2, so 1 times 2 is 2, boys. Step 2, we need to multiply our denominators straight across, so 2 times 5, the denominators are 2 and 5, so 2 times 5 equals 10, alright? And then we check whether we can simplify our answer. In this case, 2/10 can be simplified because both 2, numerator, and 10, the denominator, are multiples of 2. So they can be divided by 2. So 2/10 becomes 2 division by 2. The numerator division by 2 is 1/5, okay? The denominator division by 2, the denominator divided by 2 becomes 5. So the answer, the simplified answer, is 1/5. Now example 3. In example 3 we have to work it out ourselves. Find 3/5 of 3/4. First of all, instead of the word of, I can write a multiplication sign. So that means 3/5, okay, times 3/4. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, right? Now I need to multiply numerators, right? Multiply numerators, multiply denominators, okay? So 3 times 3, right? 3/5 times 3/4. I'm going to multiply the numerators. 3 times 3, it's 9. I'm going to multiply denominators. 5 times 4, it's 20, right? These are the denominators and these are the numerators, right? 9 on 20 cannot be simplified further, right? So our final answer, right? So answer is equal to 9 all over 20. Okay, so that's the first example. The second example, 5/8 times 6/7. All right, 5/8 of 6/7, and we're going to write 5/8 times 6/7. Step 1, we need to multiply numerators, and numerators we have the 5 and the 6. Okay, so we need to multiply numerators. 5 times 6, it's 30. We need to multiply denominators. 8 times 7, it's 56. All right, 30 on 56. All right, 30 on 56 can be divided by 2. All right, division by 2, because those are both multiples of 2. 30 division by 2, it's 15. 56 division by 2, it's 28. Right? It cannot be simplified further. 15 on 28 cannot be simplified further, so that is the final answer. Okay? It's very easy, boys. Multiplying fractions, it's very easy. You just multiply numerators, multiply denominators, and whenever you can simplify the fraction. Okay? And as we said before, all right, the answer, all right, the 15 on 28 in this case is smaller than both the 5/8 and the 6/7, because both 5/8 and 6/7 are fractions which are greater than 0 but less than 1. So the answer, okay, is 15 on 28, which is smaller than both of them. Okay, now boys, your homework would be very similar to the last two examples that we worked together. Okay, just in case you get stuck, watch the video again and try to work the examples worked in this video, okay, yourselves, so that you will understand whether you've really understood them or not. Okay, so that's all for today, boys. Good day and take care.